You know, I think I might be able to go for one more this recording session, so let's go. Lagdou Ruins 5, and we can now use Hayden. Yes, you read that right. Hayden is the only one of the secret characters who's not dead during the main story, or basically is still alive at this point. And also, he's the only one that we never actually saw on the field ever, so his help description is completely new. Well, Hayden is interesting for being the only secret character in this game who did not die during the main story. At least he has that going for him. He's also the only pre-promote ranger in this game, so that's interesting, I guess. Other than that, he's just another bonus character with not great stats for his level, and his growths are fairly meh as well. But it is interesting getting an idea of how a character that you never see fighting during the main story might have fought. This isn't really related to Hayden's bio, but one interesting thing that I wanted to point out, when I was making these bios and saving them as image files, it turns out that both Hayden and Ismaya come directly before their children in alphabetical order. Kind of a weird coincidence how that works out. Anyway, Hayden is the reward for getting 200 kills in a single run of the ruins, which I've done before even the halfway point. The other Secret Ruins characters are a little bit more spread out, but anyway, that's Hayden. Unfortunately, we only have 9 deployment slots here, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but what can you do, I guess? Let's see who I'll not have. Garrick is level 19 with 99 experience. He needs 1 experience point to max out his level. Strong as he's been so far, I kind of feel like maybe I should get rid of him, because I really want Cormag. I kind of want 2 flyers here. Oh yeah, Cormag's also maxed out his HP. So this map, actually, wait a minute, I was gonna drop Ephraim, wasn't I? I was pretty much gonna drop Ephraim, except this map might be the one that there's a thief here that I want to kind of test something about. Actually, maybe the thief appears here. Anyway, so this map, you might notice these suspicious looking wall decorations. There's a reason why they look unique. You don't want to stand in front of them. You might notice there's also a reason why there are no enemies that are standing in front of those. Yeah, those aren't just wall decorations. They're something much more sinister. Speaking of sinister, these spiders have a lot of strength now. So be prepared to be hit very, very hard. And these Gwilgis have enormous speed stats. Another Dragon Axe. Gotta be careful of Cormag there. A lot of bows here too. And Cyclops is the back, which is great. But yeah, look at these Gwilgis. They're practically, well, they pretty much are max level sword masters at this point, so they're very, very strong. Also, there are a couple of Entombed here, but at this point, the regular enemies just give as much experience as Entombed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, there's a Sword Reaver there, but this segment of the map is almost entirely axe users. In fact, the whole map is... yeah, every single weapon user on this map is an axe user. That's actually pretty strange. I'm glad I've got most of my sword users here. I didn't bring Garrick. Probably should bring him here, seeing as this map is entirely axe users, but... and I mean, Ephraim... actually, now that I think about it, I might not need Ephraim, because it turns out that I should be able to reach this chest or something. I think it's the other chest they were talking about. Okay, there's a Sword Reaver down there, but this should be alright. Just gonna reposition people. Okay, Tana now doesn't have her support anymore, and she's actually not gonna be that great here, considering all of these axe users, but, I mean, Cormag neither. I could give Cormag a sword. I mean, there's no swords he can use in the convoy, but does anyone here have a steel sword? There's gotta be some steel sword around here, at least. Come on, where's it? Okay, there's one. I like those javelins, though. And he might need that elixir. Steel bow. And that's not far enough. Okay, let's begin. So as I was saying, you don't want to stand in front of these, and the enemies are programmed not to as well, so at least there's that. Alright, let's see. Because hopefully I won't get to show off what they do unless I'm really stupid, they are poison gas traps. They shoot out poison gas, which does a tiny amount of damage, and obviously also poisons you. So you generally want to stay away from those. I believe those poison traps, well, there was poison gas in the one of the chapters on the chapter where Hector gets his legendary weapon in FE7. I forget the exact chapter name. The Armad's chapter, basically. That one. The one where Hector gets his legendary weapon. From FE7. But yeah, there was poison there, but not exactly these kind of poison gas traps. I believe there were poison gas traps in one of the FE6 side quests, but I forget which one exactly. I know there was those really stupid dart traps in the Ultimate Dark Tome side quest, which were hilarious because they did no damage when your defense was like 5. I feel like someone made a mistake when coding them. Also, there's Garrick's 1 experience necessary to level up. Okay, 20 defense is not bad. Yeah, Garrick usually has a pretty nice mix of strength, skill, speed, HP, and defense. He's pretty good all round. So many Maldwins here. Probably should have brought cavalry killing weapons. But it's probably fine. I actually don't find Maldwins to be that particularly strong. Funny thing about Maldwins, though, is one of my first experiences with Sacred Stones was seeing a video from, well, it was IGN. That was before I disowned them after their review of Radiant Dawn. Oh, that's just barely not a kill. That's annoying. But anyway, a video from IGN for Sacred Stones, and it was a Fog of War. It was definitely a skirmish because it was Chapter 6 map, but there were no... they were all monsters. And basically a... Oh, hey, we are going to show it because an enemy was stupid and did move into range of 1. And it was a good thing they did because I didn't realize that was one too. Okay, yeah. The ones that are on the opposite side of the wall are a bit easy to miss. Oh, there's a double one there too. So yeah, you pretty much, if you're directly in a line with the... Well, actually, these ones didn't get hit. You've got to be, like, very close to them, but they do shoot out poison gas. Yeah, there's one there too. So yeah, you do have to be careful there, but that's how they work. They do a small amount of damage, but they also inflict poison. So anyway, yeah, that was one of my first experiences with Sacred Stones, just, namey... Well, actually, wait, I don't know if I mentioned what exactly happened. So, yeah, Maldwin came out of nowhere and killed Namey. So I constantly associated Namey with getting killed by Maldwins from then on. And I would tease my sister about it because she liked her. Actually, it wasn't a Maldwin, it was just a Tarforce, but I find its promoted class name easier to say. Not easier to say, but just sounds cooler. That's not terrible, considering you've maxed a lot of your good stats. So yeah, a lot of people are joining the level 20 club now. Alright, we've got an incoming... Gwilgi. Actually, do any of you have bows that you can shoot from over the wall? You do, okay. I don't think I'll be able to get to you either. But, I mean, even though you have a bow, I don't think you're going to be able to do decent damage to Cormag at all because he's a complete tanky beast. I suppose I can afford to bring 2 healers down this path. I mean, we don't have... The other path has Fortify, so yeah, that kind of counts as several healers. Are you getting tired of this music yet? I sure am by this point. Okay, what do we got? Okay, there's a killer standing right in front of a poison trap. Do I have a long-range weapon that I can... Ross is broken. Yeah, I really don't want that hitting Ross, because it's not going to have a particularly good It's gonna have a pretty, I think Garrick's gonna have to poison himself. I do have the Restore Staff, but poison is just, I don't really find it that much worth using a Restore Staff on. Because you can just heal it off every turn anyway. It's not like it's really that big of a deal. And hey, no experience bar increase. The thing that speedrunners love when characters hit level 20. Because yeah, watching the experience bar fill up does actually take a lot of time. Why have I not used this yet? I bought all these killer axes for a reason. It's because I wanted to use Ross a lot here. So I should probably start using them. And his speed curse is well and truly in effect now. He was doing so well there, and then it all just kind of dropped again. That's a shame. Wait, was that... that wasn't a reinforcement, was it? What just happened up there? But yeah, these enemies have some very, very high stats. Something that I'll confess, I've never actually done a run of the Lagdou ruins on hard mode before. The only time I've ever completed the entire ruins was on my very first file of Sacred Stones ever, which was also back when I, that was also, I believe, the only time I've ever, like, I actually beat it 3 times for the full rewards then, so yeah, did it quite a lot. But it's funny, I don't actually remember very much of this map. Okay, Ross had better not die. Okay, that other one's a longbow. It's not actually a really devastating. If there was like a silver axe or something, Ross would probably be dead by now. It didn't even go for Cormag. That probably goes to show that Cormag took 9 or less from that. Which is pretty funny, considering that's effectiveness bonus. And now... another enemy poisons itself, except now Garrick poisons himself. But he had full HP anyway, he can take it. He probably regularly poisons himself just to show off his endurance. Right, you are Tomahawk. Yeah, I want to get rid of you now. This may not be getting rid of you. Actually, it is going to be getting rid of you now. I love how the shield is still flashing purple with poison while in midair. Yes, for some reason he even managed to well, the trap even managed to poison Garrick's armor somehow. Okay, I need to heal Ross now. I don't mean do that, I mean use Mend. When you've got as much HP as people like Ross, it's times like this when Recover can come in handy. Except that was a full heal anyway. Although Joshua has more HP. Yeah, see, that's one thing that I really like about Joshua, is that he has really, really good HP for a Swordmaster. Swordmasters normally don't get to the potentially capping HP threshold. Oh, you're just going to attack at long range. I've got to poison someone if I want to get to you. That's kind of annoying. Let's just get Ross poisoned. If this somehow fails... Okay, it didn't. But if it did, I have the Wind Sword, which I actually haven't used on Joshua yet. Here I was saying I'd probably never get anyone poisoned, and now I'm getting everyone poisoned. Right, stupid Malzahn evasion. Not Malzahn, Gwilgi evade rates. But loot tends to be pretty accurate against them, for some reason. I feel like I was saying something earlier on in this chapter, and then I kind of went off of it. Alright, Cormag took that damage from the Gwilgi, right? Steel Axe, Sharp Claw, but I'm not going to be in range of that if I go there. You are not a bow user, and... Well, you are something very dangerous to Cormag, but they're separated by a wall for the moment. Actually, that's not gonna... That's gonna be 52, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that was just a string of very abnormal occurrences, wasn't it? Got hit by a 2200 true hit, but then he crit, so it didn't matter. That was very weird. Also, I'm gonna now waste a ton of experience because Cormag only needs 10 to level up. But like I said, the enemies here just give so much experience that you just don't need Entombed at all. well, I mean, I suppose if you were caring about the, like, experience tracker in the records, then maybe this would be a waste, because this Entomb would only count for 10. And that is a real... I want that! I want that now! Speaking of wanting to restore stuff... How ironic, a spider getting poisoned. Although I don't know, something tells me that I've heard some kind of nature documentary or something about some, like, poisonous creatures or venomous creatures that aren't necessarily immune to poison themselves. Oh, that Entomb didn't move anyway. Actually, Tana's a bit behind. But if she goes right up to that end... I think I know what that Entombed is doing. That Entombed is making it so that we can't actually hit it unless we poison ourselves. There are some enemies on this map who specifically, from what I've read, don't move because they're in positions where you can't get to them without poisoning yourself, so they want to goad you into doing that. Because that there is also a poison trap. Unnecessary pierce, but oh well. I could do it. Oh, actually, I can't do an even bigger waste of experience because she can't reach. I kind of want to heal Cormag before he goes in. Even though that's going to do nothing. Because we're going to end up poisoning ourselves anyway. Yeah, what do you have? Steel Axe. Okay, you're... Yeah, you are definitely doubling Cormag. But Cormag's got a lot of defense, so he should be able to take that. But yeah, if we get hit by this Entomb, we're getting poisoned anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, like I said, they don't look like mummies in this game, but they're very obviously mummies in... Now I think about it, the green skin and purple pants makes them look like the Hulk. But yeah, in a lot of other games, especially Echoes, they are very obviously mummies. You've capped most of your good stats anyway, I'm okay with that. Now, I like how Garrick's effectively holding down this part of the map by himself. This Cyclops, I think, is one of the enemies that doesn't move. We shall test that theory now. This Cyclops, though. Devil Axe and Killer Axe. Okay, no matter what I do, that Cyclops is going to be able to attack, so... This may or may... Okay, I can attack from there with a Wind Sword, except that gets Joshua poisoned. I wanted to crit there. That is bad. That's very bad, actually. And no speed. Although defense is alright. Because that means he can potentially get hit by that and then get hit by... that's like 20-something damage from the Cyclops with the... Except that thing also has a Killer Axe, and I don't want to risk Ross getting criticals. Oh, I was about to say I might have to burn a use of Purge here, but I can't because I didn't bring it. And Joshua going there means he can't crit, and... Okay, this is not good. Except, how much luck does Ross... 23 luck. That's not enough to negate the chance of a critical entirely. So you have 9 base crit, and then plus 30, so 39 crit, and then Ross has 23 luck, so that brings it down to, like, I can't do that kind of maths in my head at the moment. But anyway, let's just Wind Sword it a few times. Joshua now taking after that idiot from his home country. This is not good. Except I can at least heal Ross up for a bit of health. Okay, please don't die, Ross. Okay, you didn't use the Killer Axe. And you missed anyway, that's fine. And now you crit when you're not, when it doesn't matter. Of course you do. It would have been funny if that thing had killed itself with... Oh, and yet another killer axe. I might as well replace the Sword Slayer. There aren't any swords on this map. I mean, the Gwilgies may as well be Swordmasters, but... they are not actual sword users. Never thought that sword use on Cormac would ever come in handy. But see, now I can use Killing Edges. There's a lot of 20s that are hitting in this map, isn't there? Kind of thought you'd do that. Of course, exactly enough to kill with just 2 regular attacks, and you get a critical on this fight, not against the Cyclops. Okay, then. That's fine. That's not fine, though. I need to stop that thief. Silver Lance. Okay, yeah, that chest contains a random silver weapon. Okay, Garrick just got hit by poison again. Which I believe resets his poison counter. And at this... another poison spider. Okay, at this point, I think Garrick can't take on the entire top part of the map on his own, so I'm gonna need to pull him back now. Did that reset his poison counter? I'm not sure. But I'm gonna at least pull him back just a bit. Okay, then Natasha would get herself poisoned if she goes here. I mean, we are potentially getting a second restore staff on this map, provided that I catch the other thief. Because I did read something about one of these Lagdou Ruins maps where the wiki actually says that you can't catch one of the thieves without a long-range tome. I'm guessing a thief will appear here. Although, you could just break this wall. Basically, I'm very incredulous towards that claim. I get the feeling that you probably are still able to catch that thief, and the person who originally wrote that article just is kind of not that good at its... not to... That sounds really mean, but yeah. I don't know why that Gwilgy's just staying there doing nothing. Unfortunately, it seems to be of the undoubleable variety, so... I suppose with boost to speed you could double it? I don't think I have a ranged attacker that can take that out. At least it's fully blocked from doing anything. That's not enough damage. That, ironically, is enough. Wait, no. Is that enough? Yes, that is enough damage, because that's 34. 54. Hey, Luna is actually being good. Who would have thought it? Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Luna really only starts getting good once your magic gets close to caps, because 30 fixed damage against anything, regardless of resistance, with a decent crit rate is still good, even if its weight and hit rate are terrible. Because at this point, we have enough skill to kind of offset its terrible hit rate. Now, if I go up there, will anything attack her? There is that Bale up there. And that Bale is getting hit by poison. Okay, now it's... Okay, they're changing their minds. They're all going after Ross now. Guess they see, like, the lowest concentration in defense stats down there, so that's where they're going. I wonder if that Cyclops is going to move. Okay, nice dodge there. It's a bit of a waste of the use of a Silver Lance, but still. One of these thieves may drop another one for us. I would like more strength. That thief probably doesn't care about poisoning himself. And Ross just got poisoned again. And Cormac got poisoned again. So... Oh, and I didn't notice that one. Sorry, Loot. I said that I wouldn't be showing much poison in this chapter unless I was stupid, and now everyone's getting poisoned. Admittedly, I didn't notice the ones on the lower walls until, until one of the enemies demonstrated it for me. That's a tomahawk, that's a lethal talon. That thief is actually very likely to get away. The restore staff is the one that I want. Doesn't really matter what I use, this thief is still pretty much dead. I don't like having to use the brave sword. The problem is that there is a tomahawk that could potentially attack her. Well, we've reclaimed... That's good. Though I don't really want to use it on the poison in this chapter. I'd rather use it against stone. Okay. Alright, that's a poison jet. You're one of those spiders that just have so much HP and defense that's... Is it 18 defense? That... Yeah, Joshua attacking you is not really going to do much. I doubt Ross is ever going to attack 4 times with a brave weapon. The problem with doing that is that Gwilgi is definitely going to double Ross, and then Ross is going to be in serious, serious danger. But if I do manage to actually kill that... Alternatively, that's not quite enough. But I have an idea here. Unless one of these crits. Nope, okay, that's fine. So, maybe Ross will attack it, and then Josh will go up in front of Ross, where that spider used to be. What's the best accuracy I have? The Iron Axe, of course. Iron weapons are still pretty useful all throughout the game, just for how kind of boring but practical, like, to use the TV trope, they are. I suppose I'll just use it. I could use a Killing Edge. At this point, Garrick is really wanting an elixir. I could try breaking open that wall with Garrick now. Alright, Cormag is going to go here, and Cormag is going to get healed by loot. I still find it annoying that it just so happened that all of Cormag's support options were people that I were already A-supporting with other people. Cormag and Tana, I guess, could be a pretty decent support. The thing with that one is that like, they do have a paired ending, but... And I suppose it is a little bit ambiguous, but I always now Tana's gonna get poisoned because I only just noticed that wall thing. But I always interpreted Cormag and Tana's support as platonic. Okay, this is definitely going to be a ×4, but... Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, on a hard run of the ruins, the enemy is just... Actually, that is going to kill. Thank you for proving me wrong, Amelia. Yeah, on a hard mode run of the ruins, the enemies have enormous amounts of HP. Okay, I was hoping for that. That's one more dead enemy, which is always a good thing, because this is a route chapter, so... Killing enemies fast is good. That's a longbow. And that is a... Oh, it's a tomahawk, okay. Sadly, that thief's gonna get away. And yes, I saw that coming. Okay, who isn't poisoned at this point? I know Ewan isn't poisoned, Joshua isn't poisoned, Amelia isn't poisoned. Speaking of things speedrunners hate, everyone is now... We've now wasted huge amounts of time with everyone taking damage from poison. I think Amelia and Joshua and Ewan are the only people I have who aren't poisoned. Yeah, these Cyclopses aren't moving at all. Which normally would be okay, but since we actually have to fight them... Because, again, route chapter. Also, that longbow can reach Natasha. A crit here would also be appreciated. And didn't get one. Well, I guess I might as well go for... Okay, that's good. That's 27 damage. Garrick has taken quite a bit of damage already, but... I think if Garrick goes here, he's going to get hit by poison damage again, but... 16 times 2 is not enough. That's only enough for the crits. I think this is probably the best option I have. But I'm probably not going to get the crit. And I did, good. Just realized that once everyone hits level 20, the whole experience ranking system here is just going to suddenly stop. Unless it does count experience even for people who are level 20 when they kill the enemy, I'm not sure. Okay, you finally gained at least a little bit of speed. If you get to 20, then you'll have 25 with Garm, which isn't terrible. Tomahawk and a hand axe, that's kind of a weird weapon loadout. Only 8 enemies left, what turn is it? Only 7 turns, this hasn't actually taken all that long. Oh, Ewan can fight that thing, but it requires me to... Yeah, I'd need a ranged weapon to kill the other one, and I don't really think I can do that. Okay, yeah, you're 20. Might as well top your HP up first before going in. I haven't even had time for random tangents. This map's been actually fairly quick. I've mostly been talking about relevant things. Actually, wait a minute. Let's go for that. I never really expected Amelia to be the one using the Brave Sword, but I guess it works. We are pretty much almost done here, so I'm kind of not wanting to go on a tangent, because if I do, I'm probably not going to finish it. Well, yeah, let's go for the killer one. Nope. And that's at least better than getting Pierce on your second attack. So there are only 6 enemies here. Wait a minute. That thief is going around the other way to get the other chest, isn't it? Oh, right, okay, yeah, I thought another thief would spawn from there. I should probably start breaking this was also so much time spent on poison animations. Oh, this is the thief who always drops his lockpicks. Right, yeah, I know there was a thief who does that, but it's going to change because that chest is going to be opened. Alright, so... decision time. Do I get a big hit on that Cyclops, or heal Garrick? Actually, wait, I can get a big hit on the Cyclops with Ewan anyway. Except you have a long-range weapon. And that's a terrible idea, yeah. Gleipnir in general is a terrible idea. Situations where its accuracy is kind of making it worth using. Because it is weirdly accurate for a Dark Tome. Let's just get you out of the way. I'm trying to think about tangents to go on that I could talk about in a short span of time, but there aren't really. What's related to everyone being poisoned? First thing that came into my mind was just how I found the poison status condition in... do I want to waste 2 turns break? Yeah, I might as well just waste 2 turns breaking that. I found the poison status condition in the Pokemon card game to be kind of weird because... in the games, Confusion is the status that can stack with other ones, and in the card game it's Poison, not Confusion. It's the one that stacks, which, again, I always found very weird. And like, they use a specific example of a Pokemon can be poisoned and paralyzed at the same time, which is not possible in the actual video games at all. So, that's... I always found that kind of strange. And then when Burn was first introduced, Burn was really, really weird. Burn was introduced as the additional effect of one attack of one Pokemon. It was a Quilava, I believe, that had this attack that's like, place a char counter on the defending Pokemon. And then, like, I think the attack was like, because the burn condition didn't exist, like, didn't really exist at that point, the attack had to be like a full paragraph explaining what the char counter did and didn't do. And saying, like, when the Pokemon evolves, remove the char counter. And it's like, so basically it's a status condition. It's just, like, it's a unique effect of an attack, but essentially it's a status condition. And they basically made it burn from then on. But it's still kind of interesting how it originated as just a completely unique effect of one specific attack on one specific card. Even though the burn status has been around in the Game Boy games since the very beginning. I don't know if Burn, like, was glitched at all in how it worked back in the original Gen 1 games. I know that Paralysis was glitched so that if you gained any speed at all in any way, shape, or form... I'm glad that missed, because otherwise Amelia might have been in danger. But if you gained any speed at all, it would reset your speed, like, it would remove the Paralysis speed drop. And now the amazing multi-attacking Amelia. Yeah, if both of those had hit, she may have possibly died from poison, which would have been embarrassing. Oh, hey, Nosferatu. That's kind of funny. That's one of the few ways to get that. I love it when thieves do that. It's like, oh, wait, that chest is gone. I'm doubling back now. On second thoughts, I want to get out of here. In almost all the games, thieves... I think everyone is poisoned now. I think everyone I have is now poisoned. It's like, this is weird, but like I'm thinking of a variant of the Everything is Awesome song, but instead of that it's everyone is poisoned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep, it's official. Everyone is poisoned. I did the exact opposite of what I said I'd do at the start of this map. Alright, that guy needs to go. Let's see how I can... Let's finish you off. Guess while on the subject of the Pokemon card game I can talk about. I've always found errata in card games and tabletop games and things like that kind of interesting because just of the crazy things that people try and do with the rules that are obviously illegal. Like, one of my favorites was there was a Togetic in the early days of in the Gold and Silver era of the card game that has an attack that says, copy the effects of, anyway. It was basically copying one of the target Pokemon's attacks, and it basically says, like, pay any cost needed to do that attack. Essentially, everything of that attack, do that exactly the same way as the attack says. So, if you read that strictly as written, there was a Magikarp that had an attack that said, search your deck for a Gyarados card, and evolve Magikarp into it. This counts as a normal evolution, blah 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 blah. So, if you read Togetic's rule, that's exactly enough damage, that's pretty cool. If you read Togetic's rule exactly as written, you would use that, if you copied that attack, you would search your deck for a Gyarados, and evolve Togetic into Gyarados. So they had to specifically errata out, I feel like I've said this on this channel sometime before, but they had to specifically errata that out and say, you cannot evolve a Pokemon into something that it does not naturally evolve into. And they also double patch that out by also saying that whenever a Pokemon that says whenever any Pokemon refers to itself in one of its attacks, if that attack is ever copied by another Pokemon, you read that name as this Pokemon. And eventually they decided, okay, let's just have this Pokemon printed on every single card, so to avoid the confusion at all. Oh no, 1 extra turn, you know what that means. 1 extra turn of everyone taking poison damage. Oh, I thought some people would get cured. Only 2 of us, though. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny how they had to errata that out and then just... Like, even though this is just another weird tangent, but even though I don't play Dungeons & Dragons myself, kind of have to have the right group of friends who all do it, but I do like Critical Role, but anyway, I've read some of the errata for Dungeons & Dragons, and it's pretty hilarious what, like, they described it as, like, a morph spell. It's like, there's, like, 2 sentences describing what the spell can do, and about 3 pages of errata describing what the spell can't do. They also apparently had to errata out summoning creatures in midair, because otherwise people would use the summon spells to summon a whale hundreds of feet in midair and use it as a weapon to just crush enemies under it. That's pretty funny. Anyway, this map actually was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Well, at the rate this is going, I might even be able to record another map. Let's see. So, that's floor 5 over.